If you're anything like me, you love watching videos like these of people sharing how they were able to save a large chunk of money. In this case, it was me saving $100,000 only after 3 years graduating college. I graduated college, I landed my first big boy job, and my goal was to save $100,000, which was accomplished. So I want to share with you how I was able to do it. But before we actually jump into how I was able to do it, let's talk about why I wanted to do it. If you don't have a clear reason why you even are needing to save any money in the first place, anything that I tell you in this video is gonna go in one ear and out the other. You need to have a very strong reason why you are trying to save a large chunk of money to be able to make those major life changes, behavioral changes that it takes in order to save this amount of money. Some of you guys might be thinking, why would you even need to save money? You should be investing it. And I agree with you 100%. My whole channel is about investing money. So definitely hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like these. But you gotta first save that large amount of money to be able to figure out what you wanna do with it first, whether it's throwing it into the market, investing in Tesla stock, investing in the S&P 500, buying a property. First, you gotta have the money. My 3 reasons of saving $100,000, I think many of you would probably share. One of the reasons is I wanted to buy a property. I wanted to buy a house. That's been my dream for the longest time. And I knew that saving up $100,000 will be my deposit to buy a house. I live in California, so properties are extremely expensive. My second why was I didn't want to rely on my job. If I were to ever get fired or get laid off, I wanted to have a safety blanket to be able to pay my bills even without that income and not need to jump into any job getting stressed out in order to find my next job to pay the bills. And also the third reason is during this time, the FIRE movement was at an all-time high. FIRE was talked about all over social media, and that was also my goal: financial independence, retire early. I remember when I was first on this journey of saving money, I was very resistant and reluctant on opening the bank app on my phone just to see all the charges that were in my checkings account. And so I feel like a lot of people share the same feeling, but the number one thing is to really get comfortable with opening up your bank app and seeing all the charges in your checkings and in your credit card. The reason why you do this is because you need to begin to audit your behavior when it comes to making purchases and ask yourself the question for every single purchase: did I really need to make this purchase, or maybe it was kind of just a splurge? If the answer is yes, I needed to make the purchase, then fine, leave it there. But if the answer is no, then this is a teaching lesson to where maybe next time in the future you could begin to think, I don't need to maybe go out and buy that coffee every day and I can make it at home. Maybe I don't need to go out to lunch every day and I could pack a lunch. And so you start to begin to change your behavior as you audit your bank account. And as we go through our checkings account and any other place that is sucking out money, eventually you're gonna run into charges where you just know you really can't do much about. Things such as paying for rent or gas or utilities, or if you have kids, or insurance. These are 100% necessary payments, charges that you know that you really can't avoid. What I like to do is add up what amount of money that is, what are the necessary bills I need to pay, what number is that, and then that's what you know you can expect to be eliminated from your income or from your checkings account every single month. So for example, if I make $5,000 a month, my necessary bills are $3,000 a month. That means that I will save the difference of $2,000 a month. And if I were to go out and splurge on anything, then I know that the $2,000 that I could potentially save will be chipped away at all the things that I spent money on which I didn't need. Slowly start to eliminate things that I don't really need in my life, then my savings will increase. And so if you could start to fine-tune some of maybe even the necessary things, such as maybe I don't need to have that crazy apartment and I could find a slightly smaller apartment and save an extra $500. Maybe that gym membership isn't 100% necessary. I kind of think it's necessary, but it's not 100% necessary. You could slowly start to chip away and do whatever you can by optimizing. Maybe the things that you thought were in your necessary list may not be 100% necessary. And as you continue to go through this exercise, it's not going to happen all in a month. Eventually, you will get better and better to where that $2,000 that you could potentially save will increase to maybe even $3,000 or more. And so that is the number one exercise that has really helped me get to $100,000 as fast as possible. Audit yourself, look at your check-ins account, ask yourself, was it necessary or was it not necessary? If you continue to spend money on the things that are not necessary, it's chipping away at your savings, which is extending you further away from your goals and your why. So let's go ahead and talk about the fun stuff now. And I think that I always play through these scenarios in my head. Things such as buying lunch versus cooking. I think that cooking is incredible. It should take up some part of your day. And if you aren't good at cooking, you should learn how to get better. I think that most people, what they tend to do is do such a complicated 10 plus ingredients when they're cooking and they're following some kind of recipe, and it just makes cooking such a big deal. I'm a huge advocate with simple cooking. Just the protein, just the vegetable, just fry it on a pan or bake it in the oven and you're done. Nothing too fancy, just a little bit of salt, and I think that allows you to be much more sustainable, and so that you could cook more on a daily basis versus making this grand thing. Simple cooking is really the way to go. And when you do simple cooking, you save so much more money than compared to if you were to go out to eat, which I think is such a common thing now. People tend to go out to eat for lunch, for dinner, but I think that's kind of like a very luxurious life to live, mainly because essentially what you're doing when you're going out to eat is you're saying, hey, I'm gonna pay you to make food for me. I'm gonna pay you to make coffee for me. I'm gonna pay you to drive for me, Uber. I'm gonna pay you to put my shoes on. I'm gonna pay you for a massage. I'm gonna pay you for all the things to make my life easier so that I don't have to do it. But if you just do it all yourself, you will be able to save all that money paying other people to do it for you. I tend to try to find ways to do things myself so that I can save that money so I don't have to pay another person to do it. So next, let's go ahead and talk about ways to spend your money that you should just 100% avoid. And this is accumulating bad debt. Bad debt is when you buy something and that thing is going down in price. Whereas good debt, you buy the thing and it's going up in price. Something like buying a house. Usually houses go up in price and the mortgage tends to have a low interest rate compared to, say, if you bought a t-shirt with a credit card. The t-shirt, no one's gonna buy that off of you for the price that you bought it at. They're probably not gonna buy it off of you at all after you wear it. And then at the same time, the interest rate on credit cards are incredibly high. They're like 20%. So you bought a t-shirt with money that you didn't have, and so you wasted that money, but on top of that, you're also spending even more money by paying the interest rate. And so that's bad on bad. Try your best if you are in credit card debt to pay it off and get out of it. Get to zero. That should be your number one goal. There's so much more that I could just keep continuing to talk about this topic. This video could go on for 20 minutes plus, but I'm gonna end it there. If you like the video and you want more videos like these, let me know down in the comments. If you learned something, definitely hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. My name is Jimmy Invest, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.